Everybody, welcome to Latinx Now, where we take a look at the entertainment news through our Latin lens. I'm Nastassja Bolivar.
I'm Christian Acosta.
And I am Claudia Vergara.
And we have a juicy show for you guys today, so let's get started on all the topics.
Please, let's get started. Brad Pitt was spotted on his motorcycle leaving Angelina Jolie's home last Tuesday in Los Angeles, making this his first known visit since their very public divorce back in 2016. Now, as you can all probably recall, the couple went through a big custody battle over their children, but it seems like now the Hollywood stars have made amends for the well-being of Maddox, Pax, Zahara, Shiloh, and twins Vivienne and Knox. According to a source that spoke with the Daily Mail, Brad and Angelina are on the same page regarding their children and willing to put their differences aside in order to continue raising their little ones together. The source also said that Brad has now moved close to Angelina in order to spend more time with the kids. Now, don't get your hopes up because, the Brangelina communication is strictly about the children, their future, and their needs, nothing else.
But that's amazing too.
Yes,
okay?
of course.
That's amazing too. And I think one of my favorite
Also, you never
things,
know.
That's true too, Cloud. That's very true. But one of my favorite things about this that I've been hearing it more and more, we see it with the Kardashian clan, is this co-parenting. I love when two parents can really put like their differences aside and they'll do anything for their kids. It really is going to be helpful for everybody in the party. I know, when all this started, the divorce, like we talked about, was very chaotic. It was very tumultuous, but and there was also a lot of talks around Angelina was worried more for the well-being of her kids because also, we knew that Brad Pitt was going through some alcohol problems and whatnot that he has confessed himself. He is doing a lot better, which in hindsight, you see everything is now doing a lot better. Now they're in talking terms again because from what I was reading that even when they were doing this whole custody battle, they couldn't even talk to each other. They had their lawyers talk to each other. So the fact that they're even allowing each other in each other's houses and the fact that Brad Pitt supposedly is living near Angelina Jolie now so he can see his kids more. It's pretty cool and it's awesome to see.
Listen, I really think that it's true that you should do whatever you can to keep your family together. But I also am a firm believer that if sometimes it's really best if you just let it go, and if you have to divorce and that's the best option, especially for the kids, then that's what you should do, definitely. And Angelina said, since day one, she's been saying, the reason for this divorce is for the well-being of my children. So it's if that's what it's for, then please do.
Of course.
Of course.
I also feel like Brad has always been, since day one, he's been super, out there and ready to be, a happy co-parent and everything. And I feel like Angelina has been the one pushing back a little bit from that. She's been the one fighting a little bit more than he has. I don't know. That's what I feel.
Yeah. No. I totally get that. I
me.
totally get that. But I just find it interesting that here we're talking about Brad Pitt, with one of his exes. Because do you guys remember just a few months ago we were talking about Brad Pitt with another one of his exes, with Jennifer Aniston?
That's right.
Because they were right. Yeah, they were backstage at an award show, and of course everyone's like, "Are they getting back together?" And now, of course, that we're seeing Brad Pitt leaving Angelina's home, which, by the way, this was the first time that he was photographed leaving the home. But according to sources, he's already been there many times. This isn't the first time, that he's now back to, hanging out with Angelina and the kids. So, again, I think it's just, a little humorous that everyone's, sort of wait, it's Jennifer. No, wait, it's Angelina, with his exes.
That's so true. It's funny because I start thinking about our Latin culture and how it happens. I had an aunt of mine who she was divorced, but her ex-husband was always around and hanging out with her new husband. And I think about, even our Latin stars, we have J-Lo and Marc Anthony.
Family.
Exactly, Clau, a modern family. And it's really cool how, again, and I'll repeat this over and over again, when you see co-parenting and two parents really putting their differences aside, bro, everybody wins.
Yeah, you're right. I think J-Lo and Marc Anthony are the perfect example of that, for sure.
And we have Mauricio Ockman too with Aileen Derbez. There's a lot of
and all the
Latinos that do.
Kardashians.
Yeah,
of course.
That's true, the co-parenting thing. And again, I think that people have realized that, hey, it's what's best for the kids.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what it just comes down to at the very end. That's what's best for the kids.
And it's also best that Brad Pitt is single. I mean, I'm taking. So Claudia, you got a chance, girl. All right.
Yeah, right. I wish.
All right, let's continue with our next topic because Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, premiered her new show, Unfiltered, Paris Jackson and Gabriel Glenn. And we definitely see her unfiltered. In the first episode, the singer explains that she's always wanted to follow her dad's footsteps and that although he passed away 11 years ago, wow, 11 years, life has been tough. Explaining, and I quote, "If I don't talk about it or if I don't let it in my music, it's going to completely ruin my life and it's going to own me and I'll be a slave to that kind of pain and I don't want that." The first episode of the series also shows the love between Paris and her siblings and the rest of the Jackson family. And of course, her great connection with her boyfriend and co-star Gabriel. In the series, her brother, Prince, confesses that, and I quote again, "When I get to see my sister sing, I feel really proud in a way." He says, "Because I've seen where she came from and everything she had to deal with when she was growing up and how that singing has kind of been an outlet for her." I love this. I mean, when I first started watching the first series, you know, the opening part was Paris Jackson as an 11-year-old little girl speaking with all the Jackson around her and talking about her dad's death. And I get goosebumps speaking about this right now, but it's so crazy how she's evolved into this woman. And I love how she's kind of finding the same outlet of remedy that maybe her dad did too through the music. And I'm happy about that.
You know, I think it's incredible that she is sharing this stage. You know, this is her opportunity to get out in front of the world as her, right? Like this is unfiltered. Yeah. This is like her way of presenting herself to the world. Yet she's sharing the stage with her boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. So I think, you know, like I'd never heard the name Gabriel Glenn before this, right? True. And so I think he's majorly winning with this because not only is he a part of this project, but his name is part of the project itself, you know? So I think that was, you know, that just goes to show what kind of person she is, right? Because anyone else would have been like, no, this is my time. This is my turn, especially my dad's Michael Jackson, and this is my opportunity to finally be myself and for people to get to know me.
And live in a truck, because she's saying they're living in a car now. Look at that.
I'm living in a truck. But another thing that's interesting about this is that she talks about her sexuality, you know, and she says that, you know, she's not necessarily bisexual because she's not just into men or into women, you know, even though she's got a man right now. She says that she always imagined herself ending up with a woman, but she also says that she has really to be able to fall in love with anyone, right? Regardless of, you know, gender. So she shared that when she shared it with her father, Michael Jackson, that he was accepting of it. Okay, he died when she was 11 years old, right? So, you know, since 11 years old, younger than that, she's been sure of her sexuality. And not only sure of it, she revealed it to her father, which again, and she said he accepted it. So I don't know. I find that to be, you know, really interesting details there, especially we just came off of Pride Month for people to listen to, you know, that maybe are going through these tough times.
Like I have so many things to say because I just like it just
same.
It shook me. It shook me because it's like I wasn't expecting it. You know what I mean? She's always been like super private. Like she never talks about anything about her dad or about anything. So it's like number one, what you said, Christian, about like her boyfriend winning with her. I also think like she was the one that said, like she said herself, that it was because of him that she started calling herself an artist.
Yeah.
Because she would have never dared to do that before being with him. So like he brought that out of her.
They're both winning.
In that way, she's also winning. Yeah. The second part that was like for me, I was like, oh my God, I can literally relate. Is like when they're like interviewing her, they ask her what you're like most scared of, and she says living under the shadow. And it's like I get that so badly because like my aunt, it's not Michael Jackson,
but she's Sofia Vergara, Clau.
She's Sofia Vergara. So it's like, and especially for her that she wants to like follow the same steps as her dad. So like she wants to be a singer too and a musician and an artist. It has to be horrible. Like if I wanted to be an actress, I can't even start to imagine the pressure of you having to be at least like half as good as like your dad or in my case my aunt.
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So on that part I was like I can't relate.
You know, it's funny because
hold on real quick, Claudia, you're doing a really good job.
For
real.
Yes, girl, yes. You're a son of yourself.
You're making a name for yourself without a doubt.
You know, but going back to everything about, you know, her sexuality, it's funny because she was around 8-9 years old when she said her dad would kind of taunt her with like her brothers of like, oh, you like her, because she would look at the magazines and see girls and sometimes see that she was staring longer at that, and he would kind of be like, oh, you like that, which is pretty cool also, because you're not limiting a child for anything. You're not trying to put her in that box. And she even says it herself in here. She talks about how, you know, people in the public, they've only seen her with 3 different relationships, but majority of her relationships have been with women.
Right.
You know, so I think the beauty about this, and it's funny because I have an aunt myself that she told me when she first came out to me, she's like, you know, I don't look what's in the pants, and you know, Paris Jackson said this too, I look at the soul. And I think that's really important for people to see, that it doesn't matter, like you said, Chris, of the gender, who you are. It's really what's inside that counts. So
yeah, that's really nice.
Cool. She's heading a good direction. I'm proud. I think her dad would be too.
I'm happy.
For sure, for sure. All right, guys. Well, we've got to go now. But remember, you can watch us in Espanol every Saturday at midnight on Telemundo. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Latinx Now. And of course on Facebook, facebook.com/Latinx Now. That's it, friends. Ciao for now.
Brad Pitt, call Claudia.
Ciao for now. Ustedes ya saben que acá en Latinx Now les tenemos todos los news de absolutamente todos los artistas latinxers y los que no también.
That's right. Ozuna, Bad Bunny, Anuel, hasta Sofía Vergara makes an appearance every once in a while.
Quieren estar súper enterados de todos ellos y más. Ya saben, suscríbanse. That's it. Subscribe. Go now, por favor.